Diablo 4's latest patch straight up broke the game. Not only is Masterworking disabled, some people have been getting 3 to 4 Resplendid sparks for killing Uber Lilith. Let's talk about it. The biggest change is Masterwork related, and that is the price change. The gold cost of Masterworking has been reduced, so 1 to 4 is the same, 5 is now lower, 8 is a bit lower, but the most important one is the rank 12, which went from 10 million down to 2.5 million, which was pretty much a joke. I mean, 10 million gold to just Masterwork your item a final time, especially since you can reset your Masterwork. Now, in order to actually get your Masterworking back up and running, there is a simple solution. You just return back to Karigar and then you do any level of the pit. So might it be a tier 1 or a tier 100, just get any done and Masterworking is back online. Now, it's good that they reset the cost and it's finally worth it to actually 12 times Masterwork this item, which has pretty much held me back from doing this. But my main complaint is not the actual cost here, it is the reset cost, because I'm going to be paying 5 million to reset and I'm going to be losing all my materials. That feels double horrible, especially since the cost for resetting a 1 to 4 item is exactly the same as resetting a 12 times Masterworked item, which makes no sense because you already want the first time the 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks. You want that to be the good 25%. I mean, I hit 2 times resource generation on this Harlequin crest, which is great. But for example, on my amulet, I've been hitting maximum life multiple times where I want Hellbent Commander. So that one I have to reset now, and then I have to do the 4 times Opticite upgrade 5 to 6 times to maybe hit Hellbent Commander, and every single time reset it for 5 million gold. There should be a staggering reset cost, and since I'm finally a Diablo partner, whoop whoop, I can actually recommend that to the developers. Yes, I'm in the Diablo partner program now, hello, I can still say bad things about the game, but I have also more direct connection to the developers to give feedback like this. Another big thing is the armor cap. We all knew that the armor cap is 9,230. This is also finally shown in the game. 9,230 armor is required for maximum reduction against level 100 enemies and beyond. This is finally in. You can get more armor. It is completely useless. There's one single scenario where more armor might make sense, and that is when a boss hits you with a certain attack, your orb tends to get cracked and you go vulnerable, and you could get a level of armor reduction there where you're not 9,230 anymore. But having more armor for that case scenario does seem plenty like, okay, no, sure, this doesn't make sense. Good news though, we are finally getting our Resplendid sparks. I went up from 2 to 3. Yes, killing Uber Lilith now finally gets you that Resplendid spark, and these will be needed to craft yourself an Uber unique. Don't forget, crafting this in the Transmute Spark tab at the Alchemist costs you 50 million gold. The number one thing I would get is either Harlequin Crest or the Ring of Starless Sky. Tyrell's Might is nice for a Shadow Summoner. Now, where would I get though the other Resplendid sparks from, and where would I get the 4th spark? Well, the 4th spark is quite simple. You just make yourself a new character and actually play through the Iron Wolf questline again. Yes, spam Helltides for 6 to 8 hours and you get another spark. Fantastic. Easy. You get another 100 character and another spark. That is possible. And yes, you can repeat this as many times as you want. Then you get your 1 spark for clearing Uber Lilith, and you also get 1 for clearing tormented bosses. With a golem build, that shouldn't be a problem. The golem build will be listed in the description below. You got this. There's another resource though that has been giving us headache compared to Resplendid Spark, and that has been Scattered Prisms. I'm literally only picking up items at this point that have double sockets, and if they don't have double sockets, I don't want them anymore. They drop from world bosses, but also not 100%. My last 2 world bosses didn't have a single Scattered Prism. Legion events can drop them too. Now finally, this has changed because world bosses will always drop them, and it's 3 Scattered Prisms in world tier 4. That's plenty fantastic, and if you do meet the Butcher in a Nightmare dungeon, yes, you guessed right, you get a Scattered Prism too. Brilliant. And the last thing is that treasure goblins now drop Scattered Prisms more often, which would be a 30% in world tier 4. And now considering where do you meet goblins, that would actually be in the Helltide, and in the Helltide you are having the Doombringers. Those are going to be those weird dudes that sit around and summon the sky. If you interact with them, there is often a goblin popping out. Might be the easiest way, as you anyways need to farm Helltide to find even more Scattered Prisms, but I guess world bosses with 3 guaranteed is quite something. Don't forget, again, Legion events drop them too, but that's a 50-50 chance. Now there was also some drama regarding the Bash Barbarian, which has been going crazy. If we're looking at the pit leaderboard right now without Holy Bolt, it's bash, 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 bash. Yeah, so that's being played. And the thing is that in the patch note, it was listed that bash is now being additive instead of multiplicative. Well, Adam Fletcher, community manager, cleared that up. Bash is still multiplicative and the nodes are being updated. Nothing was changed for this and was actually an attempt from the team to fix a tooltip issue. Fixing this tooltip issue caused a multiplicative scaling issue, which we experienced internally, but no one else actually saw. We fixed that issue, but it's accidentally landed in the public notes. That is actually terrible communicated this way. I mean, they cleared this up fast enough, but they actually brought the patch note out with the additive scaling change already. And you know how people can be. They pull the gun really quick, they pull the trigger, and suddenly they might have gone and be like, oh, bash is nerfed. Well, I'll reskill, screw this, my bash item is useless now, I'll destroy it. Probably didn't happen for many, but I mean, please double check and triple check your patch notes and never do jump the gun too soon. Wait until they're actually out. That you do have to follow the community manager though to get your updates, and it's nowhere listed then in the patch notes as a hotfix link to this tweet. Sometimes I wish for a wee bit improved communication there. Now a word about pits and one-shots, because they didn't really talk about it. And you might have noticed this if you're tier 50 and below, that you're going to be taking quite some damage, and especially at the boss, you might be getting one-shot. I did try to make a build with a Bone Storm now, where I really stack every single bit of damage reduction possible. And I could avoid most of the one-shots. But in order to get that done, we're talking about having 20% damage reduction here. We have 15% damage reduction from the Bone Storm, another 20% damage reduction from the Harlequin Crest, followed up with a 15% damage reduction while being fortified, and then having your Paragon board provide another 10% damage reduction against close enemies. And I even tried to add the basic skill aspect of Might here, that would give you another 20% damage reduction. And all of this together allowed me to kind of zoom through a tier 100 dungeon and tank even some of the boss echoes. Not every boss echo, because for example, my Decrepify doesn't apply to the boss echo. It applies to the boss, so he doesn't one-hit me. That's fantastic. But it doesn't apply to the boss echo. Now, for all of this to work, because, for example, the Bone Storm is supplying a lot of barrier, you need life. And we're talking about tons of life. I'm at 34,000 right now. That is not a lot. I would be looking at almost getting 40,000 base life to then drink the Potion of Fortitude for another 20% and the Elixir of Anti-Venom for another 15% life, giving me around 55,000 to 60,000 life. Now, how would you get there? That is definitely maximum life rolls on your weapon. And here you do actually want a greater affix life roll, because that is almost 4,000 life if you get that masterworked. And don't underestimate how even a little 700 max life on a ring matters, because the Royal Rubies are providing you right now 9% bonus. That's 45% bonus life from your gear with 5 Royal Rubies. And here's, for example, another 3,000 life alone from the Harlequin Crest, because it has a greater affix maximum life. And if the choice in the Paragon board is between damage or life, you should often take those maximum life, because these are percentual increases as well. Hell, we've been forced to take nodes like 20% bonus damage while fortified only because it gives us 4% more max life. And even these tiny 2% life nodes, they're so much worth it. All in all, how are you feeling about Season 4? Drop that in the comments below. Vent your angers, your frustrations, or just tell us how happy you are. Because I've been loving this so far. I've been making tons of build, masterworking some stuff. Really happy about the new symbol here for the greater affixes, because they are way easier to spot now. They were easy to spot, but they put a little black outline behind it, so that's kind of nice. Just simply make it a wee tiny bit better. And I'm just enjoying myself. Looking forward to even make a rogue, where the rogue actually get broken right now. Rapid fire is not working as it should. Don't worry, they're working on fixing that as well. But share us in the comments below. And if you're looking for absolutely incredible Necromancer build to clear any pit level tormented bosses whatsoever, so enjoy that, dive deep into the pit, get you 100 cleared, and thank you for watching. Appreciate it.